So in that last class, we had done a small registration form, and then I had done a login form, and then I had done a home page. Okay, 3 forms were done. So, and I applied the session management on that, so that as soon as you click on register, okay, so I asked the user to get some basic details, and also with an image. Okay, so the database was something like, let me just open the database also, so that you can see how the database was created. All I did was I added one more column to that database what we had already created, tables, TBL users, and I'd given it as varchar. Okay, because I'm only showing or I'm only storing the location and the file name. In this case, I'm only going to store the file name inside this. Okay, so I'm going to remove all these things. I'm going to create it in a different fashion. But by the way, this is the file name only being stored here, and you see that the file name is stored with something and all, with a file extension. It may be JPG, it may be PNG, it doesn't matter. And the file name, you see that, imagine if somebody else uploads an image called test.png. Okay, then it will become overwritten on that same file, which means 2 people will have the same profile image. I cannot allow that. So what I will do is, as soon as you upload a particular picture, I'm going to take the timestamp of that picture. Okay, I can generate random numbers if you want. I can generate, let's say, 2-3 random numbers and then attach it. I'll do both and show it to you how to do a random number, also to put a timestamp. Most of you would have checked this in WhatsApp. Okay, in WhatsApp the images are created like that. IMG hyphen. If you see that number which is generated is nothing but year, month, day, hyphen, the number, all those things will be there. I'm going to do the same thing in this program. Okay, since I've deleted all the code what I've already written, only just see the design. I have a registration form. The moment you click on submit, I'm going to take the name, email address, phone number, password of the user, also his profile picture, and when you click on register, I'm going to pass that to the database and insert it into this database. First thing. Okay, after that, I'm going to ask him to log in. So login code I'm not typing again. It's the same code what I did in the previous class also. All right, so I'm going to check whether that username and password, or the email address and the password what you give matches. And if it matches, I'm going to take, if it doesn't match, I'm going to show an error message and stay in the same page. But in case if you have given the proper username and password, I'm going to create a session with your session user ID. Okay, please note, with your specific unique user ID, I'm going to create a session variable and store it there. And then I'm going to take you back to home page. In the home page, what you have is just a label which displays all their name, email, phone number, image, etc., etc. Okay, and also a logout button. So basically we have these things. This is what we had done in the last class. This class I'm going to do the extra part of writing the code also for that. Okay, so let me start. Let me just click on, let me just start with the login page itself. You see, login page, what I've written is simple code. I hope this is clear to all of you. All right, so moving on, once you go to the home page, the first line what you see there is, if user ID is equal to null, which means if you have not logged in, take him back to login page. That's all I've written. Okay, and in login page, if you see at the top, I've seen that as soon as you log in, if you have already logged in, it will not be null. It will be having something here. If it is equal to null, which means you have not logged in. But if it is not equal to null, which means you have logged in. If you have already logged in, take me to home page. That's all. So this is the opposite will be written in login page. I hope that is clear to you guys. Okay, if you have not logged in, you have to take to the login page. If you have already logged in, take him to the home page. That's all. This is how I write the code for that. Okay, this is the simplest way of writing that code. Now, moving on, let me just imagine that I'm successfully logging in. I'll be taken to the home page. Okay, so before I do all these login and home, let's do the registration part properly. Okay, so imagine this is the form. I take the input from the user. The moment I choose a file and click on submit, what am I supposed to do? Okay, let's do that slowly one by one, starting with the name, email address. Okay, so I'm going to say name, email address, mobile number, password, and the picture. Please note, out of these, the 4 are compulsory. The first 4 are compulsory. The last one is optional. So what I'm going to do is, if you want this to be compulsorily uploaded, then you have to put a validation, required field validator, and put this as the control. Okay, that's also possible. I'm not doing it. I leave it to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to collect all the data from the user, like how I did yesterday. But anyway, let me just repeat it. String username is equal to txt name dot text. First one. Second one is string email address. So I'm going to email is equal to txt email dot text. Second one. Third one is string password is equal to txt password dot text. Fourth one is string mobile is equal to txt mobile dot text. Alright, so I've created 4 things separately. Now the next step I need to do is, by the way, by this time I would have already got whatever you have typed in the text boxes into C#. That part I have done. Okay, moving on, what should I do next is the file upload control. Okay, so in order to upload a file, please listen carefully here. In order to upload a file, okay, into the server, please note the first step what we are doing is we are pushing a file from the client to the server. Okay, when I copy and I'm moving a file, I need an exact path where you are going to move. That's why I wrote a server.map path. But when retrieving browsers, recent browsers have blocked absolute path accessing through the server. Okay, so in the server you cannot access absolute path. The server.map path is giving absolute path. So I'm going to change that. So uploading I'll require absolute path. Retrieving I'll use relative path. Okay, remember that. So with that in mind, let me go to the code part. Okay, before I begin, let me create something called string file name. Okay, I'm going to create a file name which is going to be changed with respect to, for example, imagine if I'm uploading a file called as hello world, hello space world.jpg. Okay, I don't want that hello world at all. I want to create my own name. Okay, and then I want to create a separate path. But this is the name which I'm going to store in the database. So I'm going to leave it blank in the beginning. Okay, later I'm going to process it. If at all I'm not able to, which means if you not uploaded a file, this will still remain blank and I'll upload blank to the database. Okay, in the database I've given that this is allowed to have blank values. Null values are allowed here in the image. That's what I had done in the last class. Okay, so let me go to the code. Let me write with a simple code to upload the file first. First I'll try to upload, then I'll add it to the database, because if I do vice versa, there are problems where I can get the error if the file is not uploaded but still data will be there in the database. So in order to avoid that, by the way, you can write everything inside a try catch. Okay, so that all code will get executed as one, or where the error comes, it will come out of the code. Okay, like that we can keep. Anyway, let me start. I'm going to write a simple if condition. If, okay, the file upload control, I named it as FUP profile pic. It's just a file upload control which I dragged and dropped from the toolbox. Okay, there is something called file upload. I just dragged and dropped it, changed its name to FUP, file upload profile pic. So I'm going to call that file upload profile pic and then say has file. Okay, I'm just checking whether it has a file. If it has a file, what am I supposed to do? Okay, please note, else part I'm not writing because I don't care if you have not uploaded a file. But if you have chosen a file after clicking on submit button, if you have chosen a file, I'm supposed to do something. What is that? Okay. So first thing what I'm going to do is I am going to make a file name properly. Okay. How am I going to make the file name? File name is equal to, please note, I am going to create a file name from the scratch. Okay. I don't want, for example, if you are uploading hello world.jpg, I don't want that hello world, but I want to know what is the file extension, because I do not know. Maybe you're uploading .jpg. Sometimes you might be putting .png. Okay. It can be anything. So I want to get the file extension, then file name I will create. Okay, let me create a simple file name. I'll use the date time function dot now. Okay, so date time dot now will return the current date and time. From that, I'm going to convert it into string, and within that, I'm going to pass the parameters. Okay, you can see just a short form of what and all you are getting here. Okay, you can just get date, time, month. I hope you guys know this. Okay, so what 1/10 of a second, 1/100th of a second, okay, thousandths of a second, 10,000 of a second, whatever it is. You get a lot of things here. You can choose whatever you want here. All right, so you can see what and all are there. I'm going to use a few things. Okay, I want 4-year digit. First, I want years to be printed. So I'm going to choose year. Okay, and then I'm going to type month. Okay, and then I'm going to put date. So I'll get year, month, and date. And then I'll continue with hour, okay, minute, then second. If you want fraction of a second also, you can take that. Okay, whatever you want. This will be the string. I'll concatenate that with, I want the file extension of whatever file you have uploaded. For that, I can use an inbuilt method called system.io.path.getExtension. Okay, so you have an inbuilt method called this. So which will get the extension of a particular file. Where is the file? File upload control. dot posted file dot file name. Okay, I'll repeat this once again so that you can follow. All right, what I have done is I'm making the file name as, at the moment when you call this particular function, what is the year, what is the month, what is the date, what is the hour, what is the minute, what is the second, what is the fraction of thousandth fraction of a second. Okay, so that is I've taken that also, and then I concatenate that with dot whatever extension. Okay, for example, it is .jpg means this number .jpg, then .png, whatever it is. So whatever file name you have posted, that file name's extension I'll get using this function. All right, and then I'll attach it with the file. So what happens if I pass hello world.jpg, my output would be 2020 12 16, then 11:35. Okay, whatever second it is, what are the fraction seconds? So this will be the one, and then .png or .jpg. Okay, so that's what my file name is now created. Simple. All right, this is I am doing it a little bit extensively, but you can keep it like even with a random number also. Okay, so how do I create a random number? Just create a new object of random. Okay, just create a random object. Okay, so please note there is a parameter passed here. Okay, so you can just pass the seed starting random number, or just create an object of random, then you say dot next. Okay, in that one you can still pass a minimum value and maximum value. Say let's say a random number between 1 and 100. Okay, then concatenate that with this. It's also possible. Okay, this is all I'm just adding extra, guys. It's not required. Okay, this is in case if you wanted to generate a random number. It's very simple here in C#. Just create an object of random class and then call the method called next. Pass the minimum value, maximum value, or just pass a maximum value. All right, so it will be from 0 to whatever number you have. Right now I put 1 to 100, any random number, and then concatenate that with the date and time string, then dot whatever file extension. This is not required. I'm going to remove only this part. I'll just keep this much alone. Okay, let's see how the output comes. Then we can you can try with different records, right? So you can try different file names after you have done this. Second thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another string called save path. This is not required globally. That's why I'm creating it inside this if condition. Save path is equal to server dot, yesterday what I did, server dot map path. Okay, I created a folder here in my project called images. Okay, so in that images folder, I want the system to find images. Okay, and then concatenate that with double slash. Okay, the reason why I'm putting double slash is if I put single slash, it will think it is an escape character and it will throw an error. But if I put double slash, it becomes it's escaping the escape character, so slash will come. So images slash file name. Okay, that's what I want. All right, so I'm going to concatenate that with the file name. Done. So now you have got the save path. All you need to do right now is ask the control to save it in this particular path. So how do I do that? Call the file upload control and then say save as. Okay, please note save as does not return anything. It returns void. It just saves. It just copies from this place to that place. So where is that save path? That's it. So now I've divided that line. I tried writing it in one line, but then now we have made it into 3 different lines. First line, I'm generating the file name. Second line, I'm creating the path where I find where images folder is located in my server, and then slash file name, whatever file name you have given. So inside this folder images, create this file name. Okay, what will be the file name? Whatever year, month, date, what we have, dot whatever extension you have uploaded. Okay, and then it will be there. So I'm saving it in that path. That's it. Now after this is done, it's very simple. Remaining everything is just entity framework. So I'm going to use using user DB entities. Okay, let me put DB is equal to new user DB entities. And inside that, I'm going to create an object of TBL user because I'm trying to create a new one, right? So I'm going to create the one with user is equal to new TBL user. I can do, in the last class, I did this other way. I'm doing the traditional way this way. Okay, so I'm going to put user dot username is equal to whatever I got it from this user. So user name 1. Second one, user dot user underscore email, or I'll just put email is equal to whatever I collected it from the user. Third one is user dot password is equal to whatever password I have got from the user. Last one is user.mobile is whatever mobile number I got from the user. Okay, after all these things, please don't forget about the file upload also. All I'm going to store in the database is just the file name. So if at all there was a file which you have uploaded, this file name would have been manipulated. What if I didn't upload a file? File name will be blank. That's all. But so what I should write here, user.file or I'll just say, I think I kept it as image, user.userImage is equal to file name. That's it. So now an object is ready. With this object, all I'm going to do is I'm going to call the database, call the table and say add this object of user. Last line, save changes. Done. Okay, that's it. So by this time, your data would have been saved. If you put it in a try catch, at the last line of the try, you can write successfully. Response.write. I can just tell user created successfully. I hope by now you know how to write that message as also a JavaScript alert. Okay, you can use it as an alert also, like by just putting script. Okay, I'll copy that. I'll go to the end. I'll put it as /script. Okay, and also inside the script, I'll just put this entire thing inside an alert with a single quote so that you it doesn't get confused with that double quote which is outside. That's it. I can write like this. So if the adding is successful, I'll get a small alert message saying user created successfully. And once I click on that, I can go and choose home or let me just go to login or something like that. Okay. So let me just run this program and let's check. But before I run, let me just repeat what is written here. Take all the values from the user. In case the user has a file uploaded, okay, take that file and name the file. Okay, rename the file into whatever you want, dot whatever extension you have uploaded, and then save path will be wherever this images folder is located in your project / file name. Okay, let me run and see how it works. Okay, now see the registration form is opened up. Let me just try to register a new user. Let me just put at gmail.com, mobile number. All right, and password, I'll just put 123. I'll upload a picture. Okay, so let me choose a picture from, I think I already have one in .NET. Okay, there's already a picture. Okay, so let me just choose questions. I think I have picture questions. Okay, I'll just upload some image. Okay, just added one .png. Okay, please note the file name what I'm uploading is one.png. All right, but that is not right. Somebody else uploads one.png, that will be overwritten. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on register and let's see what happens. Okay, so let me just click on register. If it is successful, I should get an alert message saying user created successfully. Click on OK. All right, now I've not redirected you to any page, so I'm still in the same page. Let me go to the database and see what is there first. Okay, let me go to the data. Let me refresh and see whether all have been added properly. Yeah, there is the new data which I recorded. Okay, name, email, password, mobile number, everything is fine. Look at the image name. Okay, look at that image name. That is not what I uploaded. I uploaded one.png. But what got uploaded here is 2020, okay, 04, and then 21, okay, and then I think some digits which are representing the seconds. Okay, so all those things are going on there. Okay, but please note it is not something which will be repeated anymore. Next time when I upload, this number will not be there. It will be a different number. Maybe starting will be somewhat similar, but ending will never be the same. It will be a totally different rate and time. Okay, so that is why we have created it randomly now. Now I have a proper file name .png. It's not going to be shown to the user. It is only known to me. Okay, so remember that. And with that, let's go to the Solution Explorer. Let's open that folder called images and see whether it has been uploaded. So let me open that folder in File Explorer. Okay, here the file which I just uploaded is here, and it was named as 1.png, but when it came to the server, it came as some random number. Okay, not random, specifically I created that. Okay, but then I have a number there with proper values here. Okay, so that's it. Now I've uploaded the record. Uploading is very simple, isn't it? So here we have just uploaded a file using the file upload control. Only this much is the code. Okay, now I think this mm is what it indicates and all. You can just check by just calling that. Okay, you can see this capital M month day. All right, you can just check which one is required for us. Is returning minutes, guys. Okay, so 2 digits. All right, 1 to 2 digits, it's 1M. If it is 2 digits, it's 2M. Okay, you can also put the month or words, but I wanted as all numbers. That's why I put and all those things. All right, so just check that. Okay, you can take whatever value you want from here and then make the time string or date time string. Okay, some people call it as timestamp also. Using this timestamp, you can recreate your entire time. Okay, which time you uploaded, etc., etc. Okay, so I leave it up to you guys how you want it. Keep it like that. All right, so that is one thing is done. Next thing what I was doing was to retrieve that. Okay, so let me go to home.aspx. So now I've created an account, isn't it? So with that email and with that password, if I click on login, I'm supposed to take you, or I'm supposed to create a session with that user ID and take you back to home.aspx. So when you come to home.aspx, the first code I'm writing is, if you have not logged in, take that user to login.aspx. Imagine if he has logged in, which means this will not be null. It will have some data. Let's fetch that data. So I'm going to create it as int user ID is equal to, typecasted into int because I'm unboxing it from that object, session of, okay, user ID. Same keyword. Don't forget this. This is a session variable. All right. So I've taken that particular user ID from the user. Now from the session. Now what I need to do is I need to fetch everything about that particular user. So let me just write using user DB entities. Let me move it as DB is equal to new DB entities. Let me create a TBL user object so that I can store everything about that particular user there. By now, I guess everybody knows how to write this code, so I'm not going to explain this. From a row in db.tbl users, where row.user ID is equal to whatever the user has passed right now, or whatever the session is holding right now. Select row dot single. Okay, one record should be coming out. I pull that record and store it in user object. That's it. Okay, so that one record will be considered as one instance of a class. So I've got all the information about that particular user in this object. All I need to do now is display them. So let's start with the first one. First one is the label welcome. So I'm going to say welcome label was there. I hope you can see the design. Okay, welcome label. So I'm going to manipulate the welcome label saying dot text is equal to, I'll put welcome, and then I'll concatenate that with user.username. So I'll just say welcome to that particular user, whoever has logged in. Okay, so with that, our work here is done. First line. Next one, I have other labels also. Let me start with label name dot text. I'll just print that label. Okay, so user dot name. That's it. Next one, LBL email dot text is equal to equal to user dot email. Next one, LBL, I think mobile number was there. So mobile dot text is equal to user dot mobile. Last one is an image. If you see here, it's an image. Okay, I want to retrieve whatever image is there in the database. Okay, the file name is stored in the database, but the file is actually stored here in my server location, the folder location. Since I am calling it to display it in the browser, not uploading it to the server, I am trying to retrieve it. It's the opposite of it. Browsers do not allow absolute path from the server. Okay, it's a security feature added in all the browsers. So no browser would be showing it directly. So that's why we got error yesterday. Let's see how to fix that. Okay, so let me go back to the code. I'm going to call that image, I think it's named as img profile dot image URL is equal to. I am just going to put images. That's the folder in which, see, home.aspx is here. According to your server, home.aspx is here. In the same place, images folder is there. So I need not even write anything. I can just directly call it as relative path. So images, okay, then put on slash, all right, and then call the file name. Where is the file name stored? It is there in the database called image. This is the file name. So basically what the URL will become, images slash file name. Okay, just call that image and put it as the image URL. That's it. Okay, that's all here for us. Let me run the program and let's check whether it works or not. Okay, so let me just run the program. I will be trying to access home page first. So since I have not logged in, what should happen? According to my code, if the user is not logged in, I'm supposed to take him to login.aspx. Okay, so let me just do that. Okay, see, I tried to call home.aspx. I'm trying to call home.aspx, but I'm not able to access home.aspx. The reason is because you have not logged in. So we'll have to log in. Let me just do the recent person which I just joined it as. Okay, I'll put mohan@gmail.com 123. That's my username and password. I'm going proper username and password. I should be taken to the home page, in which it tells welcome to the username, his username, his email address, his phone number, and his profile picture. Okay, the picture has been retrieved without any issues right now because I used the relative path. Okay, this is clear, I hope. Okay, let's do the logout part and then we'll move on. Okay, so let me write the logout code. Logout code is very simple. Okay, how you set a session, you'll have to remove that session. Okay, so there are three ways in which you can write the logout code. So let me just go to the design first. Double click on this logout button or log off. Okay, there are three ways, guys. I'll write from the beginning. The biggest way of removing everything from the session is by just calling that session object and say remove all. This is the simplest way of removing anything which is there in the session. Removing everything. Please note, this will remove all your information. Whatever you have stored, not just user ID. You would have stored your preference, your theme, all those things might be stored in the session. Everything about that particular website, whatever is created in the session variable, will be removed by this one line. Okay. Second way of writing it is removing only what you have added. What have I added? I have added something called user ID, a variable called user ID. Remove only that. Second way. Okay, please note, this is the first way. I am commenting it out. Second way is just to remove one variable. Please note, session is like a box. You can put n number of items inside that box. Okay, this method will remove every item from the box and make the boxes empty. But this, imagine if I have user ID and then I stored your preference, your theme preference in another variable called theme ID. Okay, this code will only remove the user ID. Theme will still be there. Just an example. Okay, this is one way. Last one is session of user ID is equal to null. These three, all the three are right. Okay, I prefer the second way. Okay, that's why I'm going to keep only that. Remaining two, I'll be commenting it out. Okay, this is one way of removing a session variable. Once you remove the session variable, what will happen? Log off means you have removed that session variable. So when after logging off, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to take you to login page. So I'll write response.redirect. I'll take you to login.aspx. Take me to login.aspx, because once you clicked on log off, okay, I'll remove that user ID what you have set in the session and I'll take you to login.aspx. That's it. Okay, I hope this is clear to you guys. Right? So what I've done here is basically login, register, and I've done retrieval, and I've displayed everything in the home page about that particular user in a very, very simple fashion. Okay, and inserting also, I hope you are clear of how to do that. Try it on your own. If you are finding any issues, let me know. Okay, then we will fix it and move on. And then we have done the login page. So we have 3 pages right now. Now next, after that, we'll create some more extra pages. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you so far. If you have any questions in this, let me know, guys. In the meantime, I can wait for them to join. Those who were absent yesterday, for your information, I just took this database of user and I added one more column called user image. Okay, and in the previous hour, when you were not joining, I just did a small change in the previous code yesterday. Okay, one was that I created a new file name, and if the file upload was there, I created my own date and time string, and then I attached it with the extension what you have uploaded, and then I uploaded it in the server. This code I've already explained earlier. Please do refer that if you have any doubts here. Okay, and after this is done, I retrieved it using absolute relative path, and I just said images slash because I've created a folder called images here. Inside that I put all my user uploaded images, and no two users will have the same file name because I've given the code like this. So everybody will be a different ID altogether. Okay, so anyway, after doing this, let me just think that some questions were that how do you use the grid view to display all the information of a particular user or a particular for admin, all the users to be displayed, etc. So here in my database, you see there are 3 records. Let me retrieve all these 3 in a neat format in a table, including the image, and then display it to the user. Okay, and then later I'll move on to how do you select a particular record and take only that record to the next page using the grid view. Okay, let me do that now. So first let me go to Solution Explorer. Let me add a new web form with the master page, and let me call this as admin.aspx. Okay, let me just click on OK. So I have an admin.aspx page. Okay, in this design, all I'm going to put is the grid view. Okay, before that, let me just put a label, and let me put also a grid view below that. In data control, you have grid view. I'll put that. Okay, now let me go to the label. Let me just change the properties of that label. Okay, I'm not going to programmatically access it, so only text I'm going to change. List of users. Okay, and CSS class I'll put h1. Text hyphen. Alright, so I have done that, and then let me go to the grid view. Grid view I am going to programmatically access, so I'm going to put GV users. Grid view of users, first thing. Second thing is that I need to make sure that this CSS is also taken care of, so I'm going to just put table table hyphen border, so it look neat here. And I am not going to generate or auto generate the columns. Let me just create it on my own. So let me click on edit columns. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is remove auto generate, and let me add bound fields to everything. Okay, so please note my table structure. With that, I'll do this. Okay, first one, I want to display the user ID. Okay, if you want, you can display the user ID, not a problem. I'll show the user's full name and then his email address. I'll not show his password. I'll show his mobile number. Also, I will not show the file name. Rather, I want to show the image itself here. Okay, so with that in mind, let me go. I will not use I'll do the order will be different. Okay, first I want user ID, then I want the image, then the name, like that I want. Okay, so let me go back to admin.aspx. Let me click on here and edit columns. First column is a bound field. Okay, so let me sort it so that I can type it. What do you want on the header text? I want to put it as user ID. Please note I've given space and all in the middle. Okay, this is the text what will come on the top. And what is the database field or data field for that is user underscore ID. That's it. First one is done. Next one, I want to show an image. So I'll be choosing an image field. Please note these are all different fields. Okay, first field is a simple bound field. Second one is a image field. So I'll put an image field here. And now first thing, header text, I'll just put it as profile picture. This is what the user will see in the header. Okay, but the data, that is a little bit different, guys. Please note that here. Okay, the data field, I'll just put it in categories so that you can see here. For the data section, you see there are data image URL field as well as URL format string. I want you to notice these two things here. Don't bother about alternate text. That is, if the image is not available, what alternate text to be put? Okay, that you can type it here. That is not important for me. Image, where will you find the image? How do you format that string? Okay, now imagine that you have stored the folder name / file name in the database. Then this formatting is not required. But you see how I had done with respect to retrieval here is that how do you display image in an image control? Images / you have to put, then file name. Okay, so this is the format. Okay, after that slash, please note whatever image you have, this is mandatory in the beginning. Then the file name, because I've only stored the file name in the database. So here, what am I supposed to do? Let me just do it once again. Okay, I have a, okay, I didn't save it, sorry. Okay, let me just click on that. Let me just quickly do that. Bound field. Okay, header text, user ID, data field, user underscore ID. This is my database column name. Okay, next is image field. Here header text is profile picture. Okay, data format string is images slash, and then I'll put flower bracket 0. Okay, let me zoom that so that you can see what is written there. Okay, what I have written here is images slash, please note, just a placeholder. Okay, what will the placeholder have? Whatever I put here, user underscore image, that is my database column name. Okay, so let me click on OK, and then I'll show you the database. Please note it is user underscore image. So let me go back here. Profile picture. This is the title of the profile. That will be the title of the table. See here, profile picture will come here, and images. Where is the file coming from? URL images slash placeholder. If you remember C#, in the beginning, what we had done with respect to printing values, placeholder of 0, placeholder of 1. Okay, so here only one output is going to come, so I put 0, flower bracket of 0, and this place will be replaced with whatever is coming from the database. So database, you have column name is called user underscore image. That's all. Alright, and also please note, if your image is bigger, it will take the entire screen. So it's always recommended to make sure that the control, what you are getting is proper in height and width. So let me just put 150 pixel for the control, and width also I'll put 150 pixels so that it will look like a small square. Okay, that's it. A thumbnail. Okay, a thumbnail probably you can keep 100 to 100, but just to make it a little bit bigger because I have only 3 records. That's it. So my image field is done. Next and all is just bound field. So let me just quickly finish that. Next one, I want to show the full name of the user. Full name, and I'll put the data field as user underscore name. Next, header text, I'm going to show his email address. So I'm going to put email address, and data is user underscore email. Next, header text, mobile number, and the last one, data field, I'm going to put user underscore mobile. I cannot display password, so I leave it like this and click on OK. So look at my grid view here. Grid view starts with user ID, then the profile picture, then the full name, then the email address, then mobile number. Okay. So now let's go to the code part. In the code part, as soon as the page loads, I don't have any restriction I wanted to show, but since it's the admin page, I don't want people who are not logged in to come into this page. So how do I write it? Very simple. If session of user ID, okay, is equal to null. I've already written this code previously, but anyway, I'm repeating it, which means if the session variable called user ID is not set, which means you have not logged in. So take him back to login page. So take him to login.aspx. Done. Otherwise, what we'll do, I'm not going to put an else part. I'm just going to continue, because if this condition is satisfied, you won't come to the next line. You'll automatically be taken to the next page. So I'll anyway write without the else condition itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out whatever is there in the database. So I'm going to put user DB entities. DB is equal to new user DB entities. Okay, I need to fetch all the records, so I cannot put TBL user. TBL user will give me one object. I don't want one object. So I'm going to put var, which means it can hold any number. Alright, so otherwise I'm supposed to create a list of TBL users. But I'm just keeping var so that it's simpler for us. I'm going to put result is equal to, okay, from data in db.tbl users, select data. Simple. Okay, but please remember this is entity framework, so you cannot directly attach this into your grid view. But let me just do that. Grid view users dot data source is equal to whatever result you got, convert it into a list and then attach it. Last line, users dot data bind. That's it. Okay, so as soon as the page loads, If you have not logged in, you'll be asked to log in. Okay, and then I'm going to check the database for all the records of this particular TBL users and attach that result to my data source. Let me run the program. Okay, I'll be asked to log in, then I'll come back to admin.aspx. If you don't want, you can just comment this out till you finish your page properly. Then we can apply this session and all those things. Okay, let me run this. And default expected. Please note it's trying to access admin.aspx, but as soon as the page loads, it understands that there is no session with that particular user ID or no user ID has been put there. So what am I supposed to do? After admin page has been loaded, immediately take me to login.aspx if the user is not logged in. It's not logged in, so it took me to login page. Okay, so let me just log in. Okay, once I've logged in, I'll be taken to home page, but let me just come back here and put admin now because I've already logged in. So now I'm able to see the admin page. You can see the output. What is it coming here? Yesterday, what I uploaded was these two records are yesterday uploaded. Today, I uploaded this record today. Okay, so I've got 3 records. I have user ID here, the profile picture 150 into 150, and the name of the person, the email address of the person, as well as the mobile number of the person. Okay, all these things have been retrieved and displayed in a neat fashion. Okay, this is how you display an image using the grid view control without writing much lines of code. Please note the code lines is only few, but the working, you see that it is much more than any other technology what we have used so far. Alright, we can manipulate it without even much lines of code. That's the idea. Now, I hope this is clear to you guys. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, what if I would like to select one user and I would like to go to another page with that particular user's information and I want to show like edit or delete or something like that I want to show. You can do edit and delete in the same grid view itself, but I leave it up to you. Do it on your own, guys. There is a lot of articles available for you to help to do the edit and delete in the grid view itself. I leave it up to you guys. Okay, I'm not going to take that, but rather I'm going to show for people who are working on the project to click on a particular record from the data and then go to the next step. Okay, so let me do that now. I hope this is clear to you guys. Okay, so this is how we got our information and all the data is working properly. Okay, so now let me stop the program. Let's come back and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the design. Okay, please note what I'm going to do here is as soon as you click on a particular record, okay, instead of keeping the data here, we'll keep another column right next to it just to select the data. Okay, so let me just add a new column. Okay, so in that one, let me add one more column. Okay, please note that column is going to be a hyperlink. Okay, I'm just going to add a hyperlink to the end of my system. Okay, please note it is not like you double click and then write code. Here only we can write. How I'm going to write that? Let's see. Okay, first one, header text. What I'm going to show, I'm going to just put it as operations. Okay, it can be select, insert, update or delete, whatever it is. Okay, right now I'm just going to select a particular user. Okay, and what will be the text of the hyperlink? Okay, I'm going to just put select user. I hope this is clear. All right, so the title of that column will be operations. That bold what you see, TH will be operations. Each and every record which you have in the database will have one text saying select user. Okay, so that's all. Now moving on, data. Just like how you saw the data field of image, I'm going to do that same thing here. Okay, do not bother about the text field which is coming. Navigate URL. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so where should I navigate to? All right, please note that I'm going to create another ASPX file called as I think I have. Yeah, I'll create one called show or display.aspx. Okay, so let me write the format string will be display.aspx question mark. Please note what I have written there. Okay, I'm going to put UID is equal to flower brackets 0. Okay, let me show it once again. Okay, please do look at it. Okay, so you can see that bottom they have given you an example also, page.aspx where ID is equal to flower bracket. Okay, so flower bracket of 0. Now I have put it as display.aspx where UID is equal to, UID is the user ID, is equal to 0. Okay, so what will happen? I need to give, what is the field actually? I'm going to give user underscore ID. That's what is coming from the database. Okay, the database field is user underscore ID. That will be replaced in this location when you click on a particular user. That's all. Okay, let me click on OK. Let me show you how it works. Then I'll come back to this column definition once again. Okay, but please note it will not work right now because I don't have a display.aspx. Okay, but I just want you to see when I move my mouse over that particular location, how would it look like? Look at this and let's see the output. Okay, it's again asking for login. So what I'll do is temporarily, still I work on it, I'll just come in this if condition because I've not deployed it. So I'm going to just run this so that without any error or without any login, I'll be able to access the admin page. But just before giving it to the user, I'll have to apply a session. So session you can check only after you have finished your project. As long as it's working, only you are working on it. So session need not be given so much of an importance. Okay, but before you finish or submit it for an assignment or evaluation or something, put all the session everywhere in the page. Not everybody is allowed in this particular page. Okay, remember that. So now if I move my mouse over here, I wanted to see at the bottom of the page display.aspx question mark UID is equal to 1. Now I move here, you see it says display.aspx where UID equal to 2. Here UID equal to 3. So when you click on a particular thing, you will go to the next page with that particular UID. Okay, when I go back, I get this. I click here. Okay, so here you see that I am getting the second ID. Moving on, third ID. You see that is how we get it. All right, so I've got the admin. Now all I need to do here is go back to that particular file. Okay, let's say go to that particular display.aspx, fetch all information about that particular user and then display it. That's also possible. Okay, so I'm going to instead of using this, I'm going to use the same file which I already have called home.aspx. If you see that home.aspx is the file which displays all information about the user only, right? So let me just show you the design quickly. This is a design. So I'm going to create the same page once again, but this time with a little bit of twist. Okay, so let me just go to Solution Explorer. Let me add a new web form with the master page. Let me call it as display.aspx. Okay, and same design as what is there in home.aspx. Let me copy that from this table till /table. I'll copy. I'll put it here in display.aspx inside content. Okay, so now if I go to the design, you will see that I have the same design. So what I'm going to do is when you click from the admin and click on that and come here, I want to retrieve all the details of that particular user and display it here. And then you can do edit or delete whatever you want. I leave it up to you guys. Okay, so let me just come back here and let's go to the code of it. Okay, so please note when you call display.aspx on the URL, you will have a UID is equal to something. Now I need to fetch what user ID have you passed to me. Okay, in JSP we wrote it as request.getParameter. Okay, and within brackets we put that. In PHP you would have written $_get of name equal to $_post. If you want both, you put $_request. Okay, that's PHP. Okay, you would have done these things in different technologies. In .NET it's much simpler. Okay, all I need to do is let me just create a simple variable called int user ID. Okay, is equal to. Please note I'm going to call request. Obviously, just like how we had done with respect to I think JSP and servlet, we have said request.getParameter. So here I'm going to say request.queryString. Query string is what? On the URL. Okay, whatever comes in the URL is called query string. For example, display.aspx is the file name. Question mark UID equal to something. That is the query string. So I'm from that query string, get me what? Okay, please note that method called get. Alright, so I write the method get. Please note what it takes and what it returns. Get takes parameters. Let me just tell you what are the parameters. Two parameters. One, you can pass the index. Okay, or you can also pass the name. Okay, if you have many variables passed through the URL, okay, then you can use name only. Double quotes, you have to write the name. Since in my case, I'm only passing one information, I need not use the name. If you want to use the name, I have to put double quotes UID. I'm supposed to put that. Otherwise, what I can do is I can just put index. Okay, I'll put 0 because I'm passing only one value, index will come. And I put semicolon. Okay, so let's say that there is an error coming. Why? Because by default, whatever you get from the query string, please note, as the name goes, whatever you get from the query string is basically a string. So I cannot convert that into a number by default. So I put int.parse whatever you get from the user. So get the information from the user. So what will be stored here? The user ID. If I get the user ID, the remaining part is very simple for us. Okay, because I've already written the code, I'm going to just pull it up. Okay, I'm going to copy this and paste it there. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do here is fetch all information from the table where the user ID is equal to whatever the user has passed to me right now, and then retrieve and display all these information. Let's check that. Let me first go to admin and run the admin page. Okay, so admin page, when it loads up, it will show me all the information about the users here. So all I need to do is I need to click on one of those controls and it will take me to display.aspx. Okay, so please note, when I move the cursor over there, I get display.aspx where UID is equal to 1. That's the first parameter which is passed. So let me just try whether it works. Let me click on select. Okay, all right, sorry, I forgot to remove that button which is there in the display. Let me do that. I think there was a button. Yeah, log out. All right, let me delete that because I have not written code for that. Okay, let me run it once again now. Okay, so now you see, let me select a particular user. It takes me to the next page and shows welcome to that particular user. All his information is displayed. Image is also displayed. Let me go back, choose the recent user what I created, the recent user, and it's coming. Okay, so any user you select, I see only his information because I passed it using the URL. All right, I hope this is clear to you guys. Let me just show the code once again. Okay, please do go through and let me know if you have any questions. See guys, I'm just repeating this profile pic if condition once again. All right, so this is the registration form. I have put one form called file upload, which is available in the toolbox. Okay, you can just drag and drop a file upload control here and click on register. So when you click on register, basically all places you would have put validation, which means without entering these data, you wouldn't allow the user to move forward. So when I click on register, I assume that he has entered all the information. That's why first I collect all the information properly, except the file name. Because profile picture, I'm not going to keep it mandatory because you can't make it mandatory. Okay, it's optional. If you don't keep a profile picture, I'll keep a dummy image or something like that. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now with that in mind, I'm going to say I create a simple file name, okay, which is blank, which means if there is no file being uploaded, blank only will be uploaded to the user's profile picture database. Okay, so look at this if condition. It just says control, file upload control dot has file. It's a boolean. It returns yes or no. It gets a value indicating whether the file upload control contains a file or not. That's all. All right, so if there is a file, what I want you to do? If there is a file, then the remaining 3 lines are actually only 1 line. This is the code. I tried to finish it in 1 line, but it was looking very big. So I'm making it into small lines. Okay, first I generate a file name. In the last class, I did not do a file name. I just uploaded whatever the user has given, but that is not right because if the user has space in his file name, that might be a little bit tricky. So what we are doing is we are creating our own file name. Okay, how am I creating the file name? The one which you have uploaded will have a file name, right? Which is like, for example, hello.jpg. What I want from that entire thing is .jpg. I don't want the word hello. That I'll replace it with my own character. So what I'm going to do here is I've used an inbuilt function called datetime.now.toString. Inside that, I need to pass parameters which will generate or give me an output. I'll just show you the code which I just generated recently. You see, this is the file which got uploaded. Okay, so look at the file name. Okay, let me put it in the code so that you can see it. Okay, the file name was generated like this. Okay, the first 2, all right, was I think this is, I put it is minute actually. All right, so I should have put as capital M. Sorry. Okay, but this is anyway, it is repeating 2 times. 2020 is the year. Okay, 42 is the minute. I put small m there, so it became minute. Okay, but anyway, 16 is the date today. And what time did I upload it? 11:42, 55 seconds. This is the thousandth of that second in that particular minute. Okay, so that is also displayed FFFF. All right, so if you want to see what these things mean, just delete it and press Control space. You'll get what these words mean. Okay, so first I put 4 Y's. What does that 4Y mean? Year. Okay, year is 4 digits. Okay, and then I okay. Alfonso. Okay, thank you. All right. So here, where did I stop? Year 4 years, which means 2020 has been displayed. Next is capital MM should be there, which means month with 2 digits. Okay, and then I put DD, which is date, which is 2 digits. Okay, day of the month, 2 digits, which means 0102 like that. Okay, 2 digits. And then last, what after that I had typed as R 2H. Okay, 12-hour clock, 2H and 2 okay, and then 2SS second, and then finally I put 4F. Okay, I think, yeah, 4F, 10,000th of a second. Okay, that also is displayed, which means it will not be so accurate. If you had just kept it as second, sometimes same time two of us might be submitting. Okay, so I kept the 10,000th of a second, which is a very, very unique number which you will get. That's why I put 4 Fs continuously. All right, so basically what I'm doing is year, 4 letter, okay, and then 2 letter, that is month, and then I have DD, which is the date. Then I'm putting R, minute, second, then 10,000th of a second. Okay, so this will generate this kind of a number, which is kind of a unique number, which at that particular moment. Okay, and then concatenate that with not the file name. Okay, concatenate that with the file extension. Okay, how do I get the file extension? There is a namespace called system. In that one you have IO package or a module, okay, or a namespace here. Dot path is the class, get extension is the method. Okay, if you pass a file name to this particular method, this method will return the extension of the file path. Okay, if it is like including the dot, please note the description which is given, extension of the specified path including the period dot, which means if I pass hello.jpg, this method will return .jpg. Okay, so I pass the file name. How do I get the file name? My file upload control, posted file, file name. So I'll get that file extension and I'll attach it. So if I pass something.png, that something will be removed and this number will come, then put .png. That will be there. So this is the file name. That's all. Next line what I have done is save path. Okay, so I have to find the path to actually save it. So in order to save it, I need an absolute path. So I use server.mappath as an inbuilt function, which will find where this images folder is located in the server, and then separated by a space. Okay, separated by a slash. Sorry. Okay, that slash, if I put just one, it will throw an error because that's a escape character. So I'm putting double slash to escape the escape character and then add the file name. So what is it basically? Images slash whatever file name .png will be the save path. That's also a string. Okay, then I'm saying take my file upload control, save that in the save path. That's it. Okay, so let me run it now. Once again, I'll register with a new user. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what is the file name which is getting generated and how the file is getting uploaded. Okay, here let me just create a new user. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'll choose a file. Okay, let me choose another image. Okay, so let me just choose 9. Okay, and then click on register. Okay, so please note the file name what I'm trying to upload is 9.png. Okay, from this, if I pass this file name to the method will return only .png. Then the file name is getting generated by me. So let me just click on register and I get registered successfully. Okay, that is done. Let me come out And now let me go to the Solution Explorer, open that images folder and see what file name is getting generated. Okay, the recent file name is this. So let me take that file name and come back to my code. Let me stop my project. Okay, let me show you what just got generated is this. Okay, now you can go through. 2020 is the year, 12 is the month, 16 is the day. Okay, and time is 12:38, 49 seconds when I uploaded it, and 7893 was the 10,000th of a second. Okay, and this is the file name which is getting generated, including that .png. Okay, so this is created by the one which I'm just highlighting right now is created by this line of code. Okay, and this what you see is created by this line of code. So I have the file name and the path. This path will return C users, my name, project, Visual Studio project, this particular project demo, inside that images folder, and then slash file name. So file name I've generated and it's been copied or pasted to that particular folder in the server. This is the server side, guys, not the client side. Okay, but since we both are in the same system, we are seeing it like this. I hope this is clear.